Completing this square can be inconvenient, and it is without a doubt the least liked version of methods to solve quadratic equations. But unfortunately, it's something you really do need to understand because you will be using it in the future. And in the long run, it really is easier to be able to do some other things once you've understood completing the square and you don't have to fight with it anymore. The concept is a little tricky at first, but once you understand it, it really is not that difficult. The thing that you need to remember for completing the square is 1/2 b squared. If you get that fixed in your head and get that associated with completing the square, you'll find them a whole lot easier. 1/2 b squared means we're taking the b term, which is the coefficient of our x value, and we're going to cut it in half and then square the result. And that number that we come up with is what we add to our binomial to make it into a perfect square trinomial. 1/2 of 4 squared would be 2 squared is 4. So if we add that 4 to this binomial, we get x squared plus 4x plus 4, which is a perfect square trinomial. In this case, it's x plus 2 squared. So completing the square, once you understand this 1/2 b squared, and once you have that fixated in your head along with completing the square, is really not as difficult as you might otherwise think. Here's another problem we can use to practice our 1/2 b squared. 1/2 b squared. We need to complete the square on this expression right here, 4x squared plus 32x. First thing I would do is pull out that 4. There's obviously a 4 common to both of these, so let's pull it out. We'll get 4 times x squared plus 8x. Now we'll complete the square on this expression right here, this x squared plus 8x, by taking 1/2 of b squared. So 1/2 of 8 is 4, and 4 squared is 16. So we'll add that 16 here on the end. That makes this a perfect square trinomial, in this case x plus 4. So we'll have 4 times the quantity, x plus 4 squared.